Hello, welcome. I moved, and I have a great place to teach from and do some videos from. Um, so thanks for joining. Hopefully, this is just the beginning of me offering up more classes based on circumstances, it being quite a bit easier versus my previous location. Little quieter for starters. Um, and yeah, we're just gonna get things started today in a comfortable seat. So, sitting up nice and tall, we're gonna keep this one a little short, about 30 minutes is what I'm shooting for. Um, and it's just gonna be a nice, grounding, easy, feel good practice, maybe to get your day started or to wind your day down. Um, just a nice moment of intentional breath and intentional movement, connecting the dots, settling into conscious breath. Big inhale through the nose. And an open mouth exhale lets that go. And you've got a nice long spine here as those seat bones are grounding you down. Breath in. And complete breath out. And one more time, from the base of the spine into the belly, from the belly up into the lungs, into the rib cage, from that space all the way up through the crown of the head. Breath in. And an open mouth exhale softens that out. And then from that space, we're going to take the tongue to the roof of the mouth. And you're just going to settle into a nice deep inhale. And a complete exhale through the nose. Nice ujjayi breath in. And ujjayi breath out. And letting the awareness sit on the vibrational quality of that breath going in and going out through the nose. Settling into that rhythm and settling into that texture that will keep you on your mat and in the body when the mind perhaps decides to wander. Giving us the gift of not only presence, but an ability to recognize expansion on our inhales and at the same time a softening of the edges, and there's a settling in on your exhale. Deep breath in and complete breath out. And your next inhale, go ahead and let those arms rise up. And on your exhale, we'll just go ahead, taking one hand down and the other arm is rising. Shoulders are softening here for 3. Spacious through the side body as you ground down through the opposing hip. You're in and out through the nose in 2. Breath in. And breath out. We'll inhale here. Exhale, take that hand all the way down and around. The opposing hand reaches up. Shoulders soften and the heart lifts in 3. And 2. Deep breath in. And complete breath out. And then inhaling here, exhaling, taking it all the way back down and around. That opposing hand rises and then slides down to the opposing thigh. Gaze behind you. Nice, easy seated twist in 3. Watching that back end, let it coming back to coming near the backside body versus leaning back into the palm. Spine lengthens on your inhale. And there's that softening, that settling in on your exhale. Breath in. And breath out. We'll inhale, let that, in my case, it's my left hand rise. And on my exhale, I'm going to bring everything down and around. The other arm goes up. Big inhale here. And on the exhale, hand outside of that thigh. Gaze goes behind you. Smooth and silky through the nose. We find our inhale. And we settle in to hips, settle into spaciousness on our exhale. Breath in. And breath out. Inhale. And exhale. And then we'll inhale, bring it all the way back up. On the exhale, over those legs you fold. Shoulders softening away from the ears. You're here in 3. And 2. Breath in. And breath out. On your inhale, you're back up into your tabletop, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And from that space, let's go ahead and tuck those toes. Take your, actually don't tuck the toes, leave the tops of the toes down. Take your fingertips. Girl needs this one, that's why we're doing it, towards the knees. If that feels a little too intense, thumbs will go forward and fingers will come out. So perhaps you're here or you're here, and from that space we'll find cat-cow. So the tailbone goes up, heart open. Tailbone towards the heels and the chin is towards the chest. Inhaling, opening up the front side body, shoulder melt away from ears. And exhale, tailbone, low ribs, a curling of the spine. Inhale, collarbone area smiles as the shoulders melt away and back. And on the exhale, low belly, shoulders, crown of the head. 2 more like that. Breath in. And breath out. And perhaps letting the initiation of the movement come from the hips. And then the spine follows. Breath in. And breath out. On an inhale, bring it back into a neutral spine. And you can just kind of shake it out. Yo. Other side. Woo. And we'll find a nice big breath in here. On the exhale, go ahead, push it back. Downward facing dog. Breath in, yeah? And breath out. Right leg goes up on your inhale. On the exhale, bend it open and just let that feel good. On the inhale, we'll go ahead, square it off. Take right leg back towards walls behind you. On your exhale, slide it through. Find the top of your mat. Left knee is going to soften down. We'll take both arms up as the shoulders are soft in 3. In and out through the nose. 2. Big inhale here. Exhale, right elbow towards right thigh. And that left arm is going to slide over to your left for 3. In and out, and 2. Breath in. And breath out. We'll inhale, left arm goes forward, and that right arm reaches back. Thumbs are up, pinkies are down. You're in and out through the nose, lengthening as you breathe in, and letting that exhale bring you deeper into the twist, perhaps as you breathe out. One more here, inhale. And exhale. We'll take a big breath into the left hand, and on your exhale, windmill those hands down inside of your right foot. And then from that space, wiggle the right foot out, soften the hips forward. It's kind of like a cow. And exhale, push it back. Inhale, melt that front side body towards the top of the mat. The hips go down, the heart goes up. And on the exhale, push it back. And spreading the fingers, spreading the lungs as you breathe in. Pressing through the earth, hips soften back, crown of the head, chin to the chest. You got it. On your inhale, bring it back up towards top of the mat. On your exhale, wiggle that right foot towards middle of the mat. Left heel is going to swing over to the right. And left hand comes high. Big breath in here. Exhale, carve it out. Inhale, open up. And exhale, carve it out. And one more time, breath in. And breath out. On your inhale, bring it back up. On your exhale, we'll take that arm right up alongside our ear and gaze towards fingers, perhaps in 3. And 2. Breath in. And on your exhale, release those hands down towards the earth. Slide left heel back towards walls behind us. Wiggle right foot forward and just push it back for 3. The option, these blocks are here because they are great tools. If having longer arms would make things a little more accessible and give you the ability to soften the edges, they're a nice way to change things and perhaps makes things a little bit more accessible as you work your way into a more spacious body. Big inhale. And complete exhale. On our inhale, we'll bring it back up. And on your exhale, right knee meets left. From that space, we're going to tuck the toes, take the hands to the low back, squeeze the elbows towards each other, and just let your heart lift for 3. That's it. You're in and out through the nose, and 2. Breath in. And breath out. Tops of the toes go down. We'll reach those arms out in front for child's pose. Deep breath in. And complete breath out. On an inhale, you're back in your tabletop. And on your exhale, tuck the toes and go ahead, push it back. Downward facing dog. Breath in. And breath out. Bending the knees in your down dog, you'll notice my backside body finds the ability to lengthen a little bit in that space. So that's always a nice option. If it feels, down dog feels tricky or icky, bend those knees and just take some of the strain out of the hamstrings. From there, let's inhale, left leg goes rising, and your left leg might go not quite as high, and that's okay for breath in. And on your exhale, slide it through, breath out. Right knee is going to soften down, and we'll just tops of the toes go down. The heart is lifting up, shoulders away from ears here, breath in. And breath out. Left elbow towards left thigh, right arm goes reaching, opening up through that right side body in 3. That's it. In and out through the nose in 2. Big inhale. And complete exhale. And then we'll inhale here. Exhale. Windmill those hands down and around. Oh, wait a minute. Mala mia. Right hand forward, left. Woo, we boy wobble. Take it back. 3. You're in and out through the nose in 2. Breath in. On the exhale, right hand goes down, left arm follows. Wiggle the left foot out. Send the hips forward. Lift through the heart. Inhale. And exhale. Breath in. And breath out. Deep inhale. And exhale. And then from that space, big breath in. On the exhale, we're going to slide that right heel over to the left. Wiggle your left foot to the middle of your mat. Left hand comes down. This is one where a block can come in really handy. Left arm down. Right arm is reaching. Bring it up. Yeah, that's what we did. We rotated up. So right arm is up towards the sky. Breath in, and on your exhale, take it underneath your left hamstring. Inhale, open up. Exhale, carve it out. Bravo, breath in. And breath out. On your inhale, we'll bring it up. On the exhale, we'll take it out towards top of the mat in 3. Yeah. I know what I'm doing in 2. Big breath in. And complete breath out. Inhale here. Exhale. Windmill those hands down and around that front foot. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Push it back. Hands on the earth. Hands on blocks. You're here for 3. In and out through the nose in 2. Big breath in. And complete breath out. On your inhale, bring that back towards your center. On your exhale, knees will meet. We'll tuck those toes, walk back, and just let yourself slide back onto your heels. If this is a tricky one, a block or books underneath your knees, like so. Just take some of the pressure off of things. Another option would be to slide a block under your bum. This is one of the poses that is very torture chamber-ish when you first do it. But when you've been practicing for a while, you're like, oh, it feels so good. So from there, bring it back out. Hands go down, tops of the feet. Big inhale here. Exhale, soften all the way to your belly. Tops of the toes go down. We'll inhale, lift up through that heart space. Elbows kiss those ribs. And on your exhale, hips go back towards heels for child's pose. Breath in. And breath out. And from there, on your inhale, bring yourself back up. On your exhale, cross the ankles, slide those legs out in front. Little walk with the backside body. On your inhale, arms go rising. And on your exhale, fold it out. Hands to the feet, hands to the outside edges of ankles or calves, wherever you land in 3. And 2. One more here, breath in. And breath out. And then gently start to walk it. Fingertips are going to come towards the bum, pointing. Feet, heels are going to come in, lined up with those hips. And on our inhale, up, 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 up. Reach and breathe. You're here for 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. Breath in. On your exhale, go ahead, sit that back down, breath out. Take those legs out in front and then reach through the arms in just slow motion. You're on your back. And perhaps just take a moment here, like, a little bit of yoga feels good. Walk your feet in so they're hip width apart. Right ankle's going to come on top of left knee. We're going to draw that left knee in towards the chest. Back side of your left hamstring is your handle. Right elbow is bending out. Right toes are tucking. Left toes are tucking or dorsiflexing, so to speak. And you've got a smooth and silky breath here for 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. Breath in. And breath out. From that space, go ahead, set that foot down, wiggle it out to the left. Arms are going to come out like you've got little cactus arms, and you're going to slide everything over to the left. Right knee comes towards the top of your mat. And 3. You're in and out through the nose in 2. Breath in. Should kind of feel it over here in the hip crease of right leg. And exhale, and then we'll inhale back towards our middle. Listen, everything's going to stay. Left foot is on the left edge of the mat. And you just slide everything over to the right for 3. In and out through the nose in 2. Deep inhale. And complete exhale. And then we're back in our middle. Walk those feet, hands beside your hips. Up you go, bridge pose. Hips are rising. Maybe you pick those shoulders up and just tuck them under a little bit. You got pinky side edges of the hands on the earth. Heels are reaching down and a little forward, and that makes everything else in the body go back. Breath in. Shins tracking towards collarbone area, inner thighs spiraling towards the earth. Breath out. One more here, inhale. And on the exhale, set that down. Left ankle, right knee, big inhale here. And on your exhale, you got the back of that hamstring. You got the right shin is another, it's a different option. It feels different. It's fascinating how it feels different to me. Left elbow is going to perhaps bend and press the left knee out. And you've got breath in here. And breath out here. Complete in. And complete out. Spacious. One more in. And one more out. Right foot will come down towards the earth. You're going to wiggle that right foot out towards the edge of the mat. And then you got your little cactuses. And you're just like this lot of right angles here. So we'll take a deep breath in here. Knees are going to find their way over to the right side of your mat. And then that left knee is going to go towards the top of your mat. And you're breathing into that left hip crease. Big inhale. And complete exhale. Breath in. And breath out. One more breath in. And breath out. And then inhale, bring it back. Everything stays exactly where it is. And on the exhale, the knees move over to the left. And you've got more front side hip. You've got more breath in through the nose. And out through the nose. All the way in. And all the way out. One more time, inhale. And exhale. And from there, we'll just bring it back towards our center. Draw those knees in towards the chest. Wrap those forearms around the shins. Big squeeze here. And on your exhale, heels come in, toes go out, and you're on your back. And you've just opened up a bunch of energetic channels, meridians, your lymphatic channels, muscles and fascia, circulatory lines, and you're just letting things move in exactly the way they were meant to move. And you be still. Letting the awareness go right into that breath. Breath is smooth and easy, natural. And with each exhalation, you begin to feel the body softening. Gravity begins to take hold. in that space. Space of awareness, of spaciousness, of conscious breath, of intentional thought and intentional movement. We'll let all the air out of the lungs. And a nice big breath in fills you up. Open mouth exhale lets that go. And we've got fingers and toes and ankles and wrists. And we can start to reach through those arms and reach through those legs. And then knees in towards the chest. You'll find your way over to your right side for a moment there. And from that place, beginning to press yourself up into a comfortable seat, sitting up nice and tall. Index fingers and thumbs come to touch and the palms face up. And you notice any differences. Perhaps coming into an intention from this space of awareness. Where do we want our energy to go? We choose. Person, a place, a thing. Sending some of the energy you create on your mat makes the practice more powerful. Gives us the ability to take what we cultivate on our mats and let it walk off the mat and out into the world. With the hands at the heart in gratitude and in grace, and in our ability to cultivate balance, giving thanks. Namaste. So the screen went black. We'll see if this worked. If it did, lovely. If it didn't, we'll figure it out. Thanks for coming.